Hi guys, my name is Tam and today I'm going to be talking to you about my toxic relationship. I know, and you guys probably thinking, Toyama, were you in a toxic relationship? And as a matter of fact, yes, I was in a toxic friendship. Actually, not a relationship, but more like a friendship. See, nobody really knows the difference between toxic friendships and toxic relationships. Well, basically, for toxic relationships, you're in a relationship with someone and they rather being more abusive and toxic. And for friendship, well, it's kind of different. Remember, know the difference between the two. So, yeah, I've been in a toxic friendship before and I got out because I went to online school. But yeah, back I was in building school, right? You know, one of those government schools. I had this friend, right? We just call her butt face. Can I call her butt face? Can we call her butt face? No, I think we're not allowed to call her butt face. Let's just call her nuisance. So nuisance, right? Actually, I was handling a letter to my teacher because whenever you're absent, you have to rather let your parent has to write a letter to your teacher or a doctor's note, and then you have to take it to your teacher so they can say, "Oh, yeah, I understand. That explains why you're absent." It's either you have a doctor's note or a parent's note. So I was carrying that, and it was in some sort of envelope, right? And then I had it in my hands. I didn't put it in my bag, and I went to school. And then that's when I saw Nuisance and her transport mates. They were playing. Then Nuisance was like, "Hi, Toyama, what you got there?" And then I told her, "Oh, this is my letter." And then she said, "Can I see it?" And then I was like, "No, you can't see it. This is strictly for the teacher." And then all of a sudden, she snatched it from me, and I wanted it back because I was very angry. And I said, "It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. Give it back." She was teasing me, and whenever I get the chance to get it, she'll just take it quick and fast. And basically I used to chase her. Then I said to her, "Come on, this is not a game. It's not funny anymore." Kind of more like a tone like that. And then when she teased me some more, my mind finally had enough. And also disclaimer too, I do not promote any type of violence. I did this in a way of defending myself. So I pushed her to the gates, the middle gates, and she cried. And then to myself, I'm probably thinking, "Oh no, she's just pretending to cry." Because these kids are always pretending to cry for no reason. But actually, I just thought to myself, "Oh crap, what did I do now?" So basically, I was like, "Oh snap." And she was actually crying. And then she gave me back my letter, and that showed her not to mess with me. My transport mate was there by my side, and as well there was the what can you call it, the judgeness. Yeah, she was there and asked, "Hey, what happened?" Then then I said, like, then my transport mate was like, "Oh, she pushed her." And I said it was like for in an accident. And then don't worry, she understood it, but my transport mate was like, "Oh no, like probably you shouldn't like have pushed her, but it was her fault as well." But kinda, I think it was kind of fair, or he was taking her side or my side. I don't really know that much. So therefore, after we went into class, the teacher came in. She told our teacher, and then our teachers called me onto the table after they gave the teacher the letter of why I was absent. And then after that, we went back to the table. I went to the table. Then my teacher was, "Why did you push her?" And then I said it was on accident. And keep in mind, this happened was in third grade. So I said it was all an accident. And then the teacher understood me, and then she told me to apologize to her, and I said sorry to her, which I said sorry to her numerous times, so she would stop crying. And then probably we both went our ways. And then she explained her side of the story, nonsense, and I explained my side of the story, that how she was teasing me and I had no choice, you know. Then she apologized to me, and I apologized to her, but I'm not really sure because I felt like I haven't got any justice because she was teasing me all the time, and because of the push, she had a scar on her head. And I was like, oh no, she has a scar. And then for mine was like, no biggie. But for her, she said I could use this as leverage, which she did. And there were numerous occasions like, hey, I'm going to tell the pastor about what she did to me, and then I'll beg her to stone tell the pastor. And she said, no, I'm just joking. But for me, that wasn't really a joke. So after school, after the incident, I went back home and I told my aunt, and I told my older aunt that what happened. Then she said, oh no, she provoked you. Yeah, she provoked you. Basically, I'm just gonna go search up the meaning of provoking later on. But my aunt said that she provoked me. And I was like, whoa, why did she provoke me? Many of you guys were wondering, like, what does provoking mean? And I'll get. Hey guys, I'm back after a really short break. So now let us just continue on. So provoking, adjective, causing annoyance and irritating, and as well giving rise to specific reaction or emotion. And for me, the first meaning was exactly that. She was annoying me all the time. She was teasing me. She was kind of pissing me off until I pushed her to stop. Then my aunt said that it wasn't my fault. It was her fault for provoking me. And then it was like, now finally, now someone's on my side of the story for now. Yeah. And that is how I felt. Then my other aunt said, like, oh, she provoked you. And constantly should always say that, oh no, I'm going to tell my mom and dad about this. And then she would be like, wow, seriously? And then there was this one day that I was sick, right? I was sick and I had the flu. Then the next day I came back to school. Nuisance came and said, hey, why weren't you at school yesterday? And I told her I was sick. And then she said, my father was there yesterday. He was looking for you and he would have beat you up. And I was like, what? And I was like, what? Your father was there yesterday? And my mind couldn't blow it. This girl goes so far to get her father involved. Like, what? Because because basically I pushed her, and fathers would just believe their daughters. But for me, I felt like I was the victim there because she wasn't the victim, I was the victim of her teasing and annoyance. And normally, she would be like, "Oh, my dad went there yesterday, and he was trying to find you, and he's going to beat you up." And she was threatening with me that, and my little self, a few years younger self, was very worried about that. And then in my mind, I thought, "Wow, no, her father came there yesterday." But now I just realized that she usually said that as a threat, just to kind of make me scared. Because her objective was to make me scared of her and use the scar that she has as blackmail. She was blackmailing me all the time. See, for example, when she would play a little joke, right? Then said, I'm gonna tell the pastor what you did to me, and I'll basically beg her to not tell him what I did to her. Then she said, you know what? I'm just joking. That was not a joke to me. It was not very funny because I was a quiet kid, I was the most obedient kid, and she wants to ruin my reputation. And like, I cannot afford that, really. And she constantly said, I'm gonna go tell the principal, I'm gonna go tell the pastor, I'm gonna go tell the vice principal, I'm gonna go tell that teacher. And she would always be all like this all the time. She would blackmail me, and she wasn't really a good friend. And basically, she told me that, oh, my dad's gonna get you. And basically, now that I realized it just now, she was just threatening me. She was just making me scared of her. My older self would be like, wow, as well, you stink, and you stink like poop. Yeah, that's what I would have said if I went like to the same school. And then she'll be like, hi, and I'll be like, "Oh, hi, butt face," and then she'll be shocked, like, "Is this how you talk to your friends?" And then I'll just flip her off and then be on my way. And then, yeah, that's what I would do if she was still there. Then, for example, if there was school visit, to say, "Oh, Toyama, is that you? I haven't seen you in a few years." And I'll say, "Few years? Wow, that's cool. That's a new discovery that you made. So, you want to hang out?" "Oh, wow. After you've been such a butthead to me, I'm guessing not." "Oh, come on. Otherwise, I'm going to use a scar." "Go ahead. Tell them. Tell them. I'm not in the school anymore, so you can go ahead and tell them. And besides, I'm in another school. So go ahead and tell them your little secret. And your little secrets don't hurt me anymore since I'm not in the school anymore and they can't touch me." And then I'll just flip her off and be in my like, "See you later, sucker." So that would be really cool if I did something like that. Or I could have just annoyed her, or probably annoyed her and flipped her off. And then I'll be on my way. So, yeah, and there was another time that she was blackmailing me, and it was in the morning, right? I think months or weeks after the incident. I was in school again, boring government school. Then I encountered her, and she had Smarties, and she was giving her chance to meet Smarties as well. And then she gave me some Smarties. She'll say, "Hey, you want Smarties?" And then I said yes, which she gave me Smarties. And myself, I didn't realize the trap I was getting myself in. And this day was on a Friday, which I made it motivational speech Friday. So I decided to give her transplant mate some paper, a piece of paper with an affirmation written on it. So I just gave her transplant mate that, and she asked, "Hey, can I have one?" And then I said I refused to give her one, but she came up with a plan of her own. She was like, "Oh, if you don't give me one, I'm gonna tell the teacher that you ate my Smarties." And I was like, "Oh no." Ugh. And then I said, "Oh, might as well give her some." I gave her 45. I retrieved some, but there was two that she still kept. And across class, she kept on teasing me about them, and she was waving them in my face. And as well, this doesn't did it did make me the happiest person in on Friday. So Friday is happy day, but for me on that day, it was like, "I'm gonna get you day." So yeah, she threatened me with that because what? Why did she threaten me with that? She gave the rest of her transport mate Smarties, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna tell the teacher that you took my Smarties." And basically, I accepted her offer because for me, now that I realized that she just offered me Smarties and say, "Okay, here you go, here's some Smarties, and enjoy them." And unrealizing the trap that she was going to unleash on me, I was like, "Oh no, just unleash myself the trap." So yeah, she was all on threatening to me and she was blackmailing me. But as well, she was giving some of her trusted me Smarties. Freaking Smarties, and she didn't blackmail them, but she only blackmailed me. I don't get what's with that. Because she was like, "I'm gonna threaten you with Smarties." And then, yeah, that was kind of it. And see, I think there must have been another time. I'm still thinking, but I can tell you another one in the place of that. See, basically, well, I bought some of my books to school because I thought it looked cool, and basically, yeah, nuisance on the other hand, after a few days after the book tearing incident when my books were teared, the teacher said, "Oh, don't bring any more books to school." I understood my lesson and I don't want my books to be teared anymore. And yeah, from now on, no more books will be teared. And then next day, nuisance came in with her own pile of books. I didn't quite understand it. Why did she bring her own pile of books? Like, I mean, she can go ahead and hug a tree, but she bought her own pile of books and say, "Huh, I bought my own pile of books." She waved in my face, and she was like, nah, nah, nah. And I was like, well, good luck getting your books, Ted, in my mind. Then I just went up with my way, you know? And as well, I decided to just ignore her for a while and yeah, just be there. And also, this reminds me of another time, right? I was in grade three and we were doing math class. And then, there were groups, right? You had to be seated with three to six people. And I was like in either the right run, the top one, as they called it, where you get near the windows. So yeah, it was pretty much relaxing until basically I got my math scores. So I know, right? I'm not good at math currently, but back then I was good at math because that was just simple math with a bit of heart in it. And I was like, okay, sure, I can overcome any obstacle. And then they asked, can we say a math score? And then I was like, here you go. And then after that, they made fun of me because my math score was low. Like, I got most of the answers wrong, but I mean, you have to make two wrongs to make a right. They were just laughing at me because I made a couple of answers wrong. Big deal. Big deal, I mean. And they constantly annoyed me for so long. And when my aunt said to me, and even I told my aunt P about this, and she said, "Oh, probably you should ask the teacher if you can be moved from there." And then the teacher was like, and my aunt was like, "Okay, okay, I guess." No, that's myself. That's a good idea, but I never ever announced it. And then I constantly handled being, tortured by them because they were constantly annoying, and as well, there was so many of them that was annoying. And then until at each term you get to move into a different table. That was for me. And then I felt like I was in heaven. I didn't have to sit with them anymore because they were constantly annoying. So, yeah, that was the story. And as well, we can decide how many people can decide on the story as well. So basically, and as well, she would, like, one time, right, after I written down my homework on a notebook because I was forgetting my homework, she came up to me and asked if I did my homework. And the best thing I did was run away. But then one of the classmates was there and chased me, and eventually they called me. They asked, "Hey, did you do your homework?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." And that was all that I wanted to ask. Like, I mean, stay out of people's business. You don't know what kind of business they had. They could be a serial killer, they could be a kidnapper. Just stay out of people's business for your own sake and for their own sake. Because you do not know what their struggles are. So just stay out of their business. That is what I advise you, my viewers. So yeah, everybody stay out of everybody's business because if you do not stay out of somebody else's business, you would be cry. As they say, if you stay out of business, you won't cry tears. So that's what she could have done. And as well, she was constantly annoying. Then I came back there and she was like, "Hi, you came here? Hi, Toyama, it's been a long time." And then she would talk to me. And then ever since I went to online school, it's been like I spent a lot of time away from her. And let me just remind you, at my first day of school, she actually took my stationery bag, and I was not happy about that. She took my stationery bag, and I didn't know at the time, and I took it back, but they took some stuff from it, and I took it from her, just from me and her. I tried to get all the stuff from it. They were using their hand to block the pockets, and and they were like, "Oh no, we got away." They were like, "Oh no, we gotta wait for it." But at the end of the day, I got the most stationery, right? At the end of the day, I got the most stationery and they got fewer stationery. So basically, the bad kids, actually. And as well, I talked to my before late pops about this, and they said, he's gonna come to school and get her. And then I did the same response with her, and she said her pops will be there too, which I'm not thrilled. Which I'm like, yeah, we'll see about that. And now that I moved away from her, it's been fine, I guess, because luckily I went out of a toxic relationship. So, yeah. And as well, if I ever see her again, I'll be like, psh, oh, wow. You still want to be friends? Oh, no, no, no. I don't think we can be friends anymore. And then she'll be like, why? Why don't you want to be friends with me anymore? Well, let's see. You constantly threatening me. You blackmailed me. And as well, you use smarties against me. Like, who could resist sweets? No one can. That's why strangers use sweets to lure children. Never take candy from strangers' kids. So basically, I'll be like her. Like, you can never ever get friends. You're too toxic for them. And besides, you're gonna blackmail them just like you did in primary school with me. And then I'll be off my way. And or just ignore her and say Toyama, and she'll be like Toyama, 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 and I'll just ignore her. And then after, when she starts calling my name, Toyama, can you hear me? I'll just flip her off and say, well, goodbye. And then I'll be on my way. So, yeah, that was it. And to anybody at home who is experiencing a toxic relationship or toxic friendship, get out of there. If the toxicity is too much, I advise you to get out of there. Because the sooner you leave, the sooner your emotional well being will be. Because these people control your feelings, they use you as an as a dump truck, as a dumping site for all their problems, but they don't want to hear your problems either. And as well, they force you to do stuff that you do not want to do. They always blackmail you, threaten you, and always tease you in some sort of way, and take your stuff before they even become your friend, and tease you on your math scores and English scores. Remember, everybody is different. Some people are not very talented at math, some people are, some people aren't. It's just diversity. That is why there's unity in diversity. So, for anyone who is in a toxic friendship or relationship, the sooner you get out of there, the sooner the better. As they say, the prevention is better than cure. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening to a video. I know this is a very hard topic to speak about, but for me, I wanted to create more awareness around toxic friendships and toxic relationships too. I heard these cannot be good. So, luckily, I got out of there because my mom moved me to online school, and that ever since that day, I felt happier. So I hope you guys are doing well and you're staying hydrated and keeping warm or cool wherever in the world you are. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, bye.